Hi, everyone. I am Katie Brumfield. I'm the Career Services Specialist at the Colorado School of Public Health. And today for Coffee and Careers, we are going to be talking with Cameron Herritt. Cameron graduated from our CSU location in 2019 with his Master's in Public Health in Physical Activity and Healthy Lifestyles. Hi, Cameron.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. I'm glad it's Friday.
Yeah. It was funny because we were trying to figure out the last time we saw each other, and it was almost 3 years ago. Time is just going by so fast. Cameron, what is your current job title and where do you work?
So my current job title, I am the Nutrition Area Supervisor for Greeley District 6. We're a school district located in Greeley, Colorado, just north of Denver. And I've been with them for, I think, 15 months now. I started 3 months before the whole pandemic started, and I have no idea what my normal job will be, but this job has been interesting to go through that.
Yeah, I bet. Wow. Could you describe what like a day-to-day or maybe big projects you work on? Like, what does your job entail?
So the majority of my job is managing people. So with the title of supervisor, I supervise 14 different school kitchen sites.
Oh, wow.
And 57 employees at those sites. So my job is to make sure that, one, their life is easy as it can be. So solving problems that they face, dealing with HR and all those kind of challenges that we face in the normal workplace, as well as pushing to improve processes, improve profitability. We are a public school district, but my department is standalone budget-wise. So we have to stay in the black. And to do that, we need to feed more kids. So my job is to help manage that large team and do it as best we can.
Yeah, that's a lot of employees to manage.
My phone is very, very busy.
What is that like managing people virtually?
A lot of Google Meets, a lot of just hopping on a call. So I'll send a link when someone needs to talk about something or figure something out, and we'll hop on a video call and chat it up. And for the first 3 months of my job, I was in kitchens usually 3 or 4 a day throughout the district, just saying hey and checking in and doing profit and loss analysis with them. And now I get to go to a kitchen once a month if it's a real emergency. So it's been very quickly changing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of phone calls.
Yeah. Did you have management experience before applying to this position?
So I had done a similar position in a much smaller district in Colorado prior to going back for my MPH. A lot less, I think the total sites in the district is equal to what I currently manage now. And the student population was about a quarter of what I manage now. So a little bit, but not as extensive as I have.
Okay. And this is not a typical public health career path. So how would you say your public health degree helped you in this position?
So sans pandemic, I think my public health degree has been absolutely invaluable. My first degree before my MPH was in dietetics. So I have my master's in public health as well as my registered dietitian credential. So I was always very, very focused on food and food safety and nutrition, and making sure that people got what they needed to be healthy and successful. What the MPH brings in addition to that is the knowledge on how people change their minds and how they develop, as well as the analysis and the the analytical aspects of understanding what changes are happening. So one of the really great things I've been able to do in this position is take the data that we collect every day, the number of kids that we're serving, the food that we're serving, and really look at what the trends are in the district, what we need to change. So over the summer, we were running, I think, 27 different bus routes where we would load up a school bus, fill it with food, and drive around the city giving out free food to kids.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
It was incredible. We served over 1 million meals that way.
Oh my gosh, wow.
In the 4 months of the summer. But part of that was figuring out which routes were successful, which routes we needed to change up, which routes we needed to send more food on. So some of my strengths in data management and data analysis, I use those to figure out exactly how many meals we should be sending on each bus. And we change that weekly. So it was really great to see some of those skills that I learned in the MPH program really come into play.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
How did you decide a career in public health?
Funny enough, the question that you asked earlier about did I have any management experience? I was working in that job. It was actually up in Eagle County, near Vail and Beaver Creek, and I was looking at programs that would be the next step after my dietetics, and I reached out to a couple of different programs, and I ended up getting connected to a professor at CSU, Dr. Leslie Cunningham Sabo. I'll do a full shout out for her. She's an amazing professor. I had the pleasure of working with her once I started my MPH there. But she put me in contact with a former alumni from the MPH program, Rachel Hirschman, who works in the same office as I do now.
Oh, that's funny.
And I got to hear about what her journey was like and what she was able to do with a similar background to mine, really getting into school nutrition, really focusing on wellness and the whole child. And that's always been my passion. My passion's always been food and connecting people with food. And there's nobody better to connect with food than kids. So after that introduction and those conversations, that's why I ended up choosing the Colorado School of Public Health, and specifically the Colorado State campus.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Go Rams.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm so glad that another alum's story helped inspire your career path, because I think it's so important to hear from you all and the amazing work you're doing, because public health is so broad. Sometimes it's just hard to know where you're gonna fit in the public health world. And I think that's really cool, because a lot of times people don't think to look at school districts to apply
for
jobs. And there are a lot of good positions for public health professionals in the school district.
There sure are.
Yeah.
We even have a practicum student joining our virtual office for a little bit right now.
Oh, that's great. That's really great. All right. So what advice would you give for someone that is like you and maybe has a similar background, in dietetics, and wants to add to that degree or doesn't really know what they want to do with it?
So it's an excellent question. And I think the common answer that you're going to hear from a lot of people is reach out to people with jobs that interest you. Ask them about what they do, and try and see if that sounds interesting to you. The other thing I would challenge people to do is look at what you enjoy doing kind of on the side. So I didn't learn this until after the MPH program, but I love data. You probably can't see it on my shirt, but this is my numbers shirt. It's literally just numbers.
Oh, that's so funny. There's numbers all over it.
So in my spare time, I now learn and practice coding and data analysis. And I never knew that was a passion of mine until I found it at CSPH. So looking at those little things that you find interesting and seeing how that connects to a job is fantastic, because every time I get to do a little data project at work, it's not nearly 5% of my job, but I've made it probably 10% of my time.
Yeah. It's funny because I do hear that more often than I thought I would, that people really, really like data and they didn't know they would.
Yeah. So yeah, reaching out to people, looking at what your hobbies are and how it relates to a career. Because it's super cliche, but I work really hard, but I also don't work a day, because I enjoy what I do so much. And I enjoy the people that I work with so much. So
that's so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your career path with us.
Absolutely.
And thank you for all your amazing work at the school district. And I'm excited to see how your career grows. Yeah,
me as well. We're really fresh into it. It feels like it's been a long time since I've been out of the program, but it's still really new. So it's exciting.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Awesome.